So, y'all did not hit 100 likes for the last video, so there will be no bets for this card. But yeah, get this video right here to 100 likes, and you'll be able to see my bets for the next card, I guess. But yeah, get this video to 100 likes, and let's keep the let's get the streak back starting because we have lost the streak. We only got to 87 last card, so let's get to 100 for this card. So next card you'll be able to get the bets. But yeah, let's get to 100 likes on this video. And also, there's also a way around it where you don't have to, get to 100 likes and, wait for this, wait for that. And you can see all my bets. And that's just by, look at the Cash App down below. Look at the PayPal down below. Send in 100 to my Cash App, send 100 to my PayPal, then join in the Discord, which I will link in the comment section below and probably the description as well. So yeah, send me 100 to my Cash App, 100 to my PayPal, and then join the Discord and let me know, and I'll give you access to my bets for a lifetime. So it's not $100 for a week, $50 for a week, $50 for my big bet. It's a $100 one-time payment, and you'll have my bets to the day I die, essentially. Or I don't know, I turn 40 one day and I'll be like, yeah, I don't want to do this no more. But essentially, you're gonna have at least 10 years, 11 years, 12 years of me giving bets. Essentially, you probably get that much time. Essentially, matter of fact, I'll say 5. I'll give myself some space. I'll say at least 5 more years, because who knows what's gonna happen in the future. But at least 5 more years of me betting probably at least every week, if not I don't know, 90% of the cards that the UFC has, I'm gonna be placing bets on. So year after year after year. So $100 one-time payment, and you get access to all my bets. You don't have to wait till the video gets to 100 likes or this and that just to get 1 or 2 bets. You'll get to see all my bets the moment I post them on my Discord. The Discord is free to join, but to see my bets, that's where you pay. $100 one-time payment to my Cash App, to my PayPal, and you'll have access, to my bets for a lifetime. So $100 one-time payment. It's simple as that. And I know I've seen the market. A lot of people out here charging way more, charging you $30 just for the card, $60 just for this, $400 for their premium package and all this stuff. This is a one-time $100 payment. Is it right now? Once that a couple people get into that, maybe 50 people get in there right now. So I think it's 30, 24 people. Maybe I'll close that off. But is it right now? Again, it's only $100 and that's a lifetime. Then I'll probably switch to monthly once it gets to 50 people that have signed up for the premium, and then it probably be 30 a month. But you get it right now, again, $100 one time, that's lifetime. Never had to pay another dollar, cent, penny to see my bets. They're all going to be there for you when I post them, make them, etc., etc. But yeah, you get the point. But yeah. Last but not least, again, if any fights fall out, any changes, and I need to make a new prediction for something, I'll make a video about the new fight, and that will be posted in the comment section, in the description of this video, and also in the playlist, this week's predictions. So yeah, if you're looking for those predictions or whatever of a fight, if it changes, falls out or whatever, be on the lookout for the description of this video and the comment section of this video to see that to see that new prediction for a fight change. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the predictions. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the full card of fights for UFC Fight Night, Cejudo versus Song. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the card. So in our first fight on the card, we have in the light heavyweight division, we got Modestas Bukauskas versus Rafael Cerqueira. And let me do like this. Well, I'm not going to do this because then I can't move my mouse. But maybe I'll move closer. Maybe. But yeah. In this one, I'm going low confidence. Modestas Bukauskas to beat Rafael Cerqueira. Really, people might say, why is it average? Wasn't this? But Bukauskas has never really been a guy you could trust. He has a good well-rounded skill set. He has a good build and all that stuff. But that's not everything. Fight IQ is a big thing. Durability is a big thing. And just showing up and doing what you're supposed to do is a big thing. And like I said, he's been successful, but he's definitely has dropped the ball more than I would like. And he definitely is a guy that I feel is susceptible to getting caught by Cerqueira. He coming in as a sizable dog. You know, seemed like it's a good matchup for him. Then he go out there and get caught by a punch he has no business getting caught by and losing the fight. So yeah, I'm not gonna put no average or high confidence in Bukauskas. He should win this one. He's getting Cerqueira coming off a brutal first round knockout. So he's getting him at, I guess, bargain value, a fight that he already should win anyway. But at the end of the day, we're dealing with Bukauskas here, and he still has a lot of respect to earn. But what about I say here? I say Bukauskas' decision. I think he's going to drag to the decision. I think he will get caught, clipped a couple times, but he'll probably be able to go to his grappling and stuff and make this a much closer fight than it ever should be. But still a clear fight he wins where he's controlling the majority of the fight, landing the bigger shots more consistently, you know, working behind his kicks a lot, and it's showing experience and getting this decision victory over Cerqueira. So in this one, I have Modestas Bukauskas via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the middleweight division, we got Nick Klein versus Abdul Malik. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going average confidence. I said, why am I saying like that? Average confidence. Going average confidence, Abdul Malik to beat Nick Klein. And yeah, Nick Klein's a solid fighter. Definitely tough, definitely a gamer. But I really have not seen really great striking from him or really notable any striking from him. He's definitely a very aggressive grappler. And definitely probably the better submission grappler of the two. And definitely probably the guy that has the better gas tank of the two. And I would say maybe, well, I'm not going to say that, but the other part. But yeah, better submission grappling and better, yeah, cardio of the two. At least on paper from what I've seen. And from tape from what I've seen. Despite neither of them really having the greatest experience as far as going through rounds like that. Neither of them are like decision makers. Like Klein is a guy like John Fitch or something who has like 10 fights. Like his whole recipe to beating you is, or Kobe Covington, his whole recipe to beating you is just to outwork you and take you down for 15 minutes. That's not either of these guys. Like Klein has had like 2-3 fights maybe like that against lower skill competition, but he hasn't been able to do that at a higher level, or he hasn't had needed to do that at a higher level. So and he hasn't established a true track record of doing that. Is what I'm saying. So you're dealing with two fresher guys. Like this is Klein's debut. This is Malik's like second fight in the UFC. So again, you're dealing with greenhorn. So expect a lot of, you know, not in this fight in particular, but fights like this, expect a lot of variation, a lot of deviation in there, because you know you're still getting to know these fighters. But y'all go Abdul Malik, because again, as I said, average confidence. He does have a wrestling background. He has shown pretty decent takedown offense. He is the much stronger guy between, like, physically stronger other guys. And I think he's more around it because he does have that wrestling background as well. And he can use that to keep Klein on the feet or address the grappling of Klein. You know, feet, Malik has heavy hands. He has heavy ground and pound as well. He has pretty decent takedown offense so far. And again, he has danger on the feet as well, whereas Klein is, like, it seems like a grappling threat from what we've seen so far. And I think Malik will be able to address the grappling, you know, extend Klein on the feet, you know, extend the striking exchanges, and then be able to put the damage on Klein and put him out, I'm going to say, late first round TKO for Abdul Malik here. So, in this one, I have Abdul Malik via first round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the bantamweight division, we got Ricky Simon versus Javid Basharat. And how do I feel about this one? I'm getting tongue-tied. Maybe I should have did a practice video before, because right now it's like my brain is tied up. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, Javid Basharat, Simone going average confidence. Javid Basharat to beat Ricky Simon. Also, my nose is a bit stopped up. That's another thing. My nose is a bit stopped up, but I'm going to tough through it. Yeah, that's very toughing through it. You're toughing through a stuffed up nose. Wow, so tough. Yeah, but anyway, Javid Basharat, average confidence here. Javid Basharat has, Javid and his brother Fareed both have shown pretty solid grappling, solid cardio, well-rounded skill set. And I have not really seen bad wrestling defense from either guy. Not to say that Simone needs Basharat to have bad wrestling defense, but yeah. I feel like Simone's takedowns are pretty linear, and I feel like Basharat has the skills to be able to defend them. Also, Simone is riding bad momentum, and I think Basharat is a longer, younger, much more crisper striker. Simone might pack more power in his punches, but he's got to land those shots, and it's not like he's a real big knockout artist even. So I think Basharat can defend those shots, avoid those shots, work behind his jab, and I think at points he could even out-wrestle Simone at points if he needs to. But mostly I see him mostly shutting down the takedowns of Simone being long, working behind the jab, sticking and moving, and beating Simone. And I don't think Simone has, I don't think his style is, anything similar to the styles that has caused Basharat issues. I think Basharat only has one official loss, but like one loss and one draw. Both those fights, it was kind of dealing with savvy veterans who, I think more so strikers primarily, and they're very good at sticking and moving as well. So I guess they're more experienced sticking movers than Basharat, and they're able to use their experience. And Basharat kind of gets frustrated when other people do his style against him. But Simone is not a sticking and mover. He can't stick and move if he wanted to. Simone's gonna look for those big shots and look for big takedowns, try to take you down, smash you, and submit you type stuff. Basharat's longer, younger, good takedown defense, good grappling, can address that, and this picking part, I think Simone will be there to be hit. And I see Basharat beating him to a pretty clean decision here. So in this one, I got Javid Basharat via decision. Now on to our next fight. We have in the middleweight division, we got Nursultan Ruziboev versus Eric McConico. I'm going to call him Eric. I can't say that name. It is what it is. But I'll go average confidence. Nursultan Ruziboev. Yeah, I'll go. Let me just slow it down. I'll go average confidence. Nursultan Ruziboev to beat Eric. That's what I will say. I will go low confidence. Ruziboev to beat Eric. Yeah. Eric, he does have a solid one-rounded skill set, but I think the thing with, and he has a good size. Not like he's a guy that's like, oh, he's 5'6". He come here to get torched up. 5'6" BJJ player versus Ruziboev's gonna get murdered. He's like 6'2", 6'3". He's a pretty big middleweight as well. Good frame, pretty strong as well. But the issue is a couple issues in here for him. He's coming in on short notice. Pretty much when you're coming in the position he's coming in, you're like a lamb to slaughter. You're supposed to come here, and Ruziboev is supposed to pick up an easy win. That's what it's supposed to be. That's the narrative. So that's one issue for him. The other issue is lack of experience, especially at this level. Pretty much non-existent experience at this level. I guess you could say for Mikey Patola, who did fight in the UFC, but not to great success. And yeah, on a downtrend. Clearly beyond the downtrend. Went over Mikey Patola. And then he has seemingly solid grappling, Eric does, but he's primarily, like, he looks more like, when I look at how his grappling competition in his fights, he's not, it don't look like a guy that had a wrestling background. Like a guy that probably came into an MMA gym, and did some BJJ competitions, but never really did any wrestling. I could be wrong, but his wrestling don't like he wrestled before. Like he probably did some wrestling in his BJJ, but like real wrestling, no. Or really working on the wrestling element of his MMA game or his BJJ game, not really. His takedowns are pretty terrible, or low level, low skilled, rough. He has okay BJJ skills if he could get you there. But Ruziboev, his wrestling defense might not be the greatest, but I think Ruziboev's wrestling overall is much better than Eric's wrestling is. And I think he can keep the fight standing. And I think he's just a much better striker, the much more experienced fighter. And I think he'll be able to extend the striking exchanges on the feet and eventually be able to find a stoppage mid to late second round via TKO. So in this one, I have Nursultan Ruziboev via second round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the welterweight division, we got Adam Fugitt versus Billy Ray Goff. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Adam Fugitt to beat Billy Goff. Yeah, Billy Goff is he's a scrapper, but so is Fugitt. Fugitt's a tough scrapper, and I think he's much more technical. I don't feel like Billy Goff's grappling or wrestling is so good. It's not. His striking is definitely not good. What Billy Goff gets on, what's he get by? What does he get by on? Is, I guess, being tough. He may not be like super strong chin, but got that. Again, they might not be like a literal tank, but they'll just keep pushing. Like they could take shots. They definitely don't have a glass chin, but definitely not iron. But yeah, they could get clipped at times, but they'll get back up and keep coming. So I guess maybe like an iron heart, maybe, and he'll keep fighting as long as he has breath in his lungs. He'll keep fighting, seemingly. And yeah, that does make for a tough fight. But I will favor the technique of Fugitt. And we look at Fugitt, for the most part, the guys he has lost to, are ranked competition. Like, I think Morales should be ranked by now. I think, what's that Canadian guy he lost to? That guy, and he gave Morales a pretty competitive fight for the most part. And Morales, again, is a top-tier talent. And then another guy he lost to, I think was ranked as one. I don't know if he's ranked still, but he was ranked as a point. And he didn't give him a tough fight. He got dogged by him. But, Yeah, for the most part, he lost to ranked guys, but and I don't think Goff's skill level or talent is as great as those guys. And I think Fugitt will have like a 5-inch reach advantage and probably like a 2 to 3 inch height advantage. So he'll have height and length over Goff, technique over Goff. Fugitt has a wrestling background as well, and so far his wrestling has not been an issue for him, offensively or defensively for Fugitt. So I think Fugitt will be able to address if Goff try to come out here to swing forward and go for takedown. I think he'll be able to defend takedown. If anything, it's really going to be the combination of Billy Goff's pressure and volume that could be an issue for Fugitt. But I think Fugitt will be able to deal with that with his technique and not stay stationary, not move back straight back too much. Competitive fight, but I do think Fugitt wins it. I think Fugitt might be able to get a drop in there because Goff is so negligent with his defense and so sloppily aggressive. So I could see Fugitt getting a big drop, whereas Goff might be throwing more, landing more because he's throwing more, and that's a big factor. But I think Fugitt will land the harder shots more consistently, and he might even be able to get a takedown on Goff. I'm not saying he's going to have a great success with takedowns, but I can see him exploiting him with counters, like counter strikes, and taking advantage of Goff over swinging and jumping forward and getting takedowns at time to edge a very close fight over a very game Goff here. But yeah, my prediction for this one is Adam Fugitt via decision. Now to our next fight. Yeah, next fight. I don't know what this thing doing. But yeah, now to our next fight. We have in the light heavyweight division, we got Iwan Cutelaba versus Ibo Aslan. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Ibo Aslan to beat Iwan Cutelaba. And this is a pretty low skill light heavyweight fight right here. I'm not saying light heavyweight fights are low skill, but what I'm saying is this fight right here is a low skill fight at light heavyweight. And that's all I'm saying. Ibo Aslan is by no means a technical striker. Iwan Cutelaba is by no means a technical striker. Iwan Cutelaba's background is in wrestling. He has experience, blah, 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 this, blah, blah, that. But I'm going with Ibo Aslan. Younger. Well, I'm not. Is he younger, really? I don't care too much, but he's fresher. I think he's definitely not no 35-year or nothing like that. They're both either early 30s, like real early 30s, or mid-late 20s. But they're not. Neither of these guys are. Both these guys are younger. What I'm saying. But Ibo Aslan is definitely fresher in the UFC. He's riding momentum. He has the push behind him. Cutelaba has really, in all his years in the UFC, not improved a day. Ibo Aslan at least is picking his punches better, showing growth. Like, he dropped the fight in the past because he gassed out. And since then, he's been, again, picking the shots better. Like, he hasn't just been going out there swinging and just looking to run through guys. And Cutelaba still has not got past that phase where he might mix it in wrestling if it's easy. Like against Khalil Roundtree, he mixed it in because it's easy. But when somebody actually forces him to actually think, he really doesn't typically think that the best. And I think Aslan can address the grappling of Cutelaba and picking shots better and be able to crack Cutelaba's chin eventually, find it probably early to mid second round, and then follow it up and put him out in the second round. So in this one, I have Ibo Aslan via second round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the featherweight division, we got Andre Fili versus Melquizael Costa. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Andre Fili to beat Melquizael Costa. Melquizael Costa, he's a, I don't know why I'm talking like that. Melquizael, I guess it's his name. His name's making me say that. Like quack, quack, quack. Melquizael Costa. Turning people into ducks trying to say your name. Melquizael Costa. Yeah, he's a pretty well-rounded fighter. You know, he's pretty young. You know, he has some upside to him. I think he's a skilled fighter, but I'm not super impressed. Can't say like, oh, this guy's gonna have such a promising fight. I mean, such a promising career in the UFC. If that was the case, maybe I would lean him over Fili here. But yeah, I just see him at best probably like a lower, maybe at best middle of the pack type guy. Maybe at one point could touch the rankings just for a bit type of guy. I'm not again not really saying high perspectives from him. Not like he's a big puncher. Not like he's an amazing offensive grappler here. He's probably giving him height and length to Fili and definitely giving up a lot of experience to Fili. And Fili has shown consistently throughout his career, for the most part, and probably about like 90% of his fights, if not more, solid wrestling defense, solid scrambling, solid awareness of grappling and submission. So he's been a tough guy. If you just want to try to take him down, that's a tough path. On feet, Fili still looks like a much better striker than Costa to this point. And yeah, I got to go Andre Fili here. I feel like Costa is probably going to be looking for those big shots, trying to touch Fili's chin, but Fili's going to be landing cleaner shots and moving better, showing his experience, exploiting the length, exploiting the height. I still feel like Fili, Fili not even old. Like, he's not young. He definitely was a younger fighter at one point, like a very young fighter at one point. He's been around the game a long time. He still looks pretty much the same way he did look 10 years ago. But Yeah, Fili, I think like early, kind of like 32, 33, 34. So he's not probably like 33. He's not even like can't even say like oh, you fight like a 40-year-old Fili. You're fighting like a 33-year-old Fili. So Fili still got enough youth in him, and I don't feel like Costa poses such a, I guess, unique threat. Like it's gonna be a competitive fight, but he don't pose like no unique threat. Like he's not like a so big heavy hitter. He's not no great boxer. He's not no great kickboxer. He's not no karate guy that could be in and out and throw spinning crescent kicks and stuff like that. He's not no MVP. He's kind of like your basic run of the mill MMA fighter. Probably throw a bunch of big overhands and look for basic doubles and basic singles, like telegraph and slow. So I think Fili could deal with that and just be the much sharper striker, much more experienced fighter. And I think he get his own takedowns in there as well. It's not like Costa, some amazing jumping guillotine guy or transitional armbar stuff like that. Like pretty basic fighter for the most part. He's tough in game, but he's a pretty basic fighter. So I don't really feel like no like again, Fili has choked in the past before, but outside of that, like I just think Fili's clearly has the edge in this fight. So I would say Fili beats him to a decision here, addresses the grappling, able to avoid the big shots and land his shots cleaner, throw more, land more, and land at a higher clip, and use that experience to his advantage, and beat Costa here in a decision victory. So in this one, I have Andre Fili via decision. All right, all right, all right. Now to our next fight, we have in the light heavyweight division, in our first fight on the main card, we have Alonzo Menifield versus Julius Walker. Okay, Alonzo Menifield versus Julius Walker. How do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Julius Walker to beat Alonzo Menifield. So yeah, definitely a tough fight, tough fight. But Julius Walker seems like a promising light heavyweight. I think he was about like 24, 25, very young guy, like 6'4", light heavyweight. He'll have the height and seemingly the length as well. Menifield, I think, is coming off like 2 back-to-back losses. They took a lot of damage in. Walker is a bit of a finisher. Yeah, I think Menifield's definitely the more lethal striker overall. Probably bigger, well, like physically, like wide, width-wise, bigger, stronger guy. Not vertically, but wide, like width-wise. Definitely has a whole ton of more experience at the UFC level than Walker does. But I do like Walker's mindset. He seems hungry. He seemed like he's been waiting for this moment. It seems like he's ready for this moment. Young, undefeated fighter with height and length. And definitely, I'm not going to say seemingly, he definitely has better fight IQ than Menifield. Menifield's one of his biggest crutches throughout his whole career has been the lack of fight IQ, lack of a real MMA background or a combat sports background. Got in the game late. When Menifield really started training, I think he was older than Walker is now. Like he was when he started really training and getting involved. Like no wrestling background, no boxing background. Did football in like high school and college and whatnot. But yeah, I do see this a tough competitive scrap, but I think Walker, I like his length, I like his mindset. He does have a well-rounded skill set. Could definitely be sharper, but again, you're dealing with a young, fresh guy, undefeated, hungry. He's getting his moment, and I think he'll be able to come in looking better than he's ever looked. Not to say that he doesn't look good already, but you know, you can see a fighter young, and you can see like, oh, he's still green here, green there. You know, he get better here, he get better there. Need to work on this a little bit, but those little small things that could make a big difference, they can make the adjustment when it matters. Like these 24-year-old, 25-year-olds. Undefeated, you know, they could definitely make the jump. Again, it's not like he's going in with like a cerebral veteran who's going to school him. Menifield's going to look to touch something big, knock him out, look to try to take him down and smash him. But again, Walker has seemingly solid grappling, so it's not going to be easy to do that. Then Walker's long and tall and pretty savvy on the feet as well. But I'll say this go to distance. I'll say decision. I think it'll be a close competitive scrap, but I think that Walker will be able to just make the better adjustments. Make Menifield miss, and the fact that Menifield's coming off 2 KO TKO losses, he probably be a little bit chinny, maybe a little bit gun shy at points, and Walker might be able to ring his bell just enough to give Menifield pause, and then at times maybe be able to defend the takedown of Menifield and get the better position of them, you know, win the positional battle, and sometimes end up on top against Menifield. But overall, I just think it's going to be a very close competitive scrap, and I think Walker will benefit from his youth, will benefit from his momentum, and the lack of momentum that Menifield has. And also be able to exploit the lack of fight IQ that Menifield has. And again, just be able to make the better adjustments in the fight. And that's going to be everything here. But close competitive fight, but Walker making the better adjustment. That's simply what I see here. And I see it going the distance. Stoppage, if the props on that is good, I'll definitely say look into those. But as far as like, stoppage props, myself personally, I would not play the decision prop. I would not play that. I'm predicting that, but I would not play that. But unless the value is crazy. Value is like plus 400, something like that, I might play that. But as far as just straight up, I would say this fight more than likely probably gonna go by stoppage. But I will say my prediction wise, I'll go Walker by decision here. So in this one, I have Julius Walker via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the featherweight division, we got John Silva versus Melsik Baghdasaryan. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence John Silva to beat Melsik Baghdasaryan. And this is a tough fight for John Silva. The odds might not say it, but this is a tough fight. Melsik is a gamer, and John Silva definitely prefers to strike. Melsik prefers to strike, so striking matchup, they match up pretty evenly. You might even say Melsik is the more technical striker, maybe. But I do feel like Melsik, for the most part, is pretty one-dimensional on the feet. He's very heavy, kick wide, like he kick the leg, heavy leg kicks, heavy body kicks, heavy head kicks. That's really the large majority of his offense's kicks. He does have some clinching, some punching, but nothing I really respect a whole lot. Not to say that it's not decent. Again, I just don't really respect it a whole lot. And if he did try to clinch up, that would be favorite John Silva. John Silva's like a short T-Rex arm guy. You want to try to clinch up with him, and you don't really have you're not Anderson Silva, you're not this guy, you're not that guy. You have never really shown no great plum to really deter anyone. So you're going to clinch it up, and they're just going to rip you to the body. And that's just going to further put you in a bad position. It might even give him an opportunity to get you down on the ground. And I know John Silva probably has much better grappling than he has shown. Or he really hasn't shown much grappling, but he does look calm and composed and skilled in areas. Like he just doesn't really choose to use it as much. So Melsik wants to over kick. He might end up on his back and end up in a grappling situation, or he wanted to try to go put a plum on. He might get thrown on his back. But yeah, John Silva is a well-rounded fighter. But both guys, well, I wouldn't even say Baghdasaryan is a well-rounded fighter. He's a one-dimensional striker, as he showed in one of his losses where he got submitted. One-dimensional striker for the most part, largely one-dimensional. John Silva is multi-dimensional, but he prefers to strike. That's the difference. 4 better fighters beat better fighters. John Silva has. And I think he'll be able to cover that kick distance, rip him to the body, break him down. I think Melsik will be game. I think this does go the distance. Again, I would not bet that, but I will predict it goes the distance. Both guys are competitive. Both guys are scrappy. And it's not like John Silva is a guy that's going to look to mix it up so much. If he was like a guy that really looked to mix in his grappling and his BJJ to get a finish, yeah, that'd be a different story. Because I think if he get to the ground after smashing him, the sub is probably there. But seeing that he really prefers to strike and be in these scraps, probably going to be a competitive striking matchup with minimal grappling. But yeah, John Silva covering that distance, cracking the body, cracking up top, and crowding the kicker and beating the quick, crowding the kicker that is Melsik and beating the kicker by decision here. So in this one, I have John Silva via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in a catchweight at 140 between Rob Font versus John Matsumoto. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going low confidence Rob Font to beat John Matsumoto. Matsumoto seems like a solid fighter, but I can't say his offensive grappling has looked that good. And I definitely think that Rob Font's a much better striker, much more experienced fighter. Matsumoto barely got past, what's his name? Brad Katona in a pretty much pure striking match. He barely got past Brad Katona, barely passed him. And we know Rob Font's a much higher level fighter than Brad Katona. Might not be as well-rounded, maybe, but definitely far more accomplished. And again, I don't feel like Matsumoto really has the grappling upside to just take down Font and lay on him. Matsumoto hasn't really shown the power enough for me, to be honest. So I think Rob Font can just just be the cleaner, more experienced striker, put up more volume, land the flusher shots, and I think he beats Matsumoto via decision here. I think he'll be able to address whatever grappling Matsumoto has, which he hasn't really shown a whole lot, and then just be the cleaner striker throughout the 15 minutes and beat Matsumoto in a decision victory. Pretty competitive scrap, but I think it's a fight that Font can definitely win, and I think it's a fight that Font will win. So in this one, I have Rob Font via decision. I don't know if I'm speaking too slow or too fast, like I'm curveballing it, I feel, but it is what it is. You can see the pictures. And you can also read the description too, because I put my picks in the description as well. So you can't hear me, you can't see it, you can read it. And if you can't read it, I might have to get it in Braille. And if it's in a different language, then you can just copy and paste it into Google and get it translated. But yeah, next fight we have in the middleweight division in our co-main event, Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going low confidence Anthony Hernandez to beat Brendan Allen again. So they fought, I think, in LFA, and Hernandez stopped him via TKO. I'll say this one goes the distance. Yeah, tough fight here. but I got to go to Anthony Hernandez. Two young, well-rounded guys. Hernandez has definitely went from more of a striker to more of a grappler now, a lot more of a grappler now. Allen has always been pretty much the same guy, like well-rounded, but his striking definitely was terrible. I would say Hernandez has improved leaps in grappling. Allen has improved leaps in striking. But yeah, tough competitive scrap here. But I think Hernandez has, he sets a higher pace and maintains a higher pace. And I don't feel like Allen's takedown defense has looked all that great. I'm not saying it looks bad, but I've seen him get taken down. Who took him down? Dawkins, Cal Dawkins took him down like twice. He got taken down a couple times by Malcone in that fight. And yeah, I don't think Allen will be able to threaten him on the feet. Not to say that Allen should be like, we don't know, because Hernandez hasn't really struck too much because he's been grappling. I can't say like, oh, Hernandez grappling has dissolved so much, or Allen just has improved this much. Like I said, it's a close competitive fight. This could happen, that could happen, a lot of stuff could happen in this one. But it's not like Allen has a track record of really knocking too many guys out. Like when he TKO Paul Craig, that was like the only TKO he really had. He had some good looks on the feet against Menifield, but that was because the threat of the takedown was there. And even in that fight, Menifield got the better of the positions a lot in that fight. Allen might have went for the takedowns, might have scored them early, but then eventually Menifield started to get the better of the positions. And the same here could happen with Hernandez. Like Hernandez would be the one initially shooting the takedowns. Then down the stretch, maybe Allen gets a takedown, or maybe Allen's getting the takedowns, and Hernandez is able to reverse it. I think Hernandez has the better gas tank. He has the better grappling pace, better cardio, etc., etc. But yeah, I think it's a close, gritty fight. But I think Hernandez is going to be the one that will be able to win the grappling exchanges. He'll be the one that be able to dig deeper, because that's what he's been doing. You know, on his stretch of wins he's been out grappling guys, and all the fights have not been easy. Like some of them have looked easy, but some of them have been very tough, and he had to keep going for like 10 takedowns, reversing positions, going for the takedown, maybe a poor shot or missed time shot, but then battling through it to get to a better position, or weathering this kind of rough round, a rough moment, and getting there. And Allen, that has not really been the most for him. Like Chris Curtis was primarily a striking match, and he had to rough through it, but that was striking. Hernandez has deal with striking, deal with grappling, and been coming out top. So yeah, I think tough competitive fight, well-rounded fight, but Hernandez ultimately been able to outgrind Allen, get the important, crucial takedowns, win the positional battles overall, and also probably showing the wrinkles in his striking as well. But very close fight, and also battling through submissions. Probably Allen gonna probably try to go for some hard submissions, but Hernandez gonna be a tough through it and come out on top and beat Allen once again here. So in this one, I have Anthony Hernandez via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in our main event in the bantamweight division. We got once and always Triple C Henry Cejudo, former flyweight champion, former bantamweight champion, former champ Henry Cejudo versus Yadong Song. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Henry Cejudo to beat Yadong Song. And let me just say this right here. I have no idea why Song is such a big favorite. Like, what has this man ever accomplished in his life to be such a big favorite? Did the Chinese market just somehow get into the U.S. market or something, and they just flooded the bets or something? Or did every Chinatown across America just get in and start betting on Song or something? I don't know what it is. Cejudo came off of like a 2-3 year retirement and fought one of the greatest bantamweights of all time in Aljamain Sterling to a close, like a split decision or very close unanimous decision. Like, he just barely lost to Aljamain Sterling. Bigger, younger, in his prime champion with defenses, one of the greatest bantamweight fighters of all time, one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time, and barely lost him. Then he fought Merab, took the first round pretty strong, and then Merab does what he always does. Maybe drop around, maybe have a tough moment, but Merab just keeps coming, and he makes everyone look bad. Merab made Cejudo look bad, he made O'Malley look bad, he made Umar look bad in the 4th and 5th. He made Peter Yan, who most recently beat Song, look bad. So what you can't give Song confidence based on what Merab did. You are not Merab. Merab has made people that made you look bad. So the fact that Cejudo was even able to get around off him, that should not be a feather in the cap for Song. That should be a feather in the cap for Cejudo, not Song. So I don't know why Song is getting this big push. And Cejudo, maybe you can say, oh, his cardio didn't look the best in that fight, or this and that. But I think he got injured in that fight. And another thing, Merab make everybody cardio look bad because he just nonstop. The man's cardio is so good. You could be a marathon runner. He'll make you look like you are asthmatic out there. That's Merab. He just relentless and skilled at what he does. So you could become in the best shape of your life, but if you can't keep up with him, Like you might be able to run for 40 miles straight, but this man can run like at 7 miles per hour for 80 miles straight. So you're gonna look terrible in a marathon with him regardless. Especially when he can wrestle you and punch you in the face. But yeah, I gotta go Cejudo. I definitely have seen some bad fights from Song. Stanman was well, not even argument. Stanman clearly beat him, but they gifted him a draw in that fight. I was there live. It was an embarrassing fight for Song. Stanman was schooling him, mounting him, slapping his face, dogging him out. Fight could have been stopped at several times as well. Like he might have had the Ricky Simone fight where, oh, that's the improvement here. But Cejudo is the best wrestler by far that Song has ever fought. Cejudo is no slouch in the striking department either. It's not like Cejudo's going to have to respect the takedowns of Song so much. Not to say that he could count the takedowns out of Song. But yeah. He can't count out the takedowns of Song. He can't count them out. But, yeah. But I think Cejudo could definitely mix with takedowns. He's been training with the right people. He's been around the greatness. He's been around Mighty Mouse, trained with him a bit, trained with John Jones. Just recently went to Khabib's camp, trained with Umar a bit. So he's getting the right rubs. He's around the right people. And I'm not to say that Song, he's not going to be able to easily just take down Song, but I don't think Song's going to easily be able to outstrike Cejudo in a pure striking match. But at the end of the day, this MMA match. And Cejudo can mix in the takedowns and get the threat of the takedown so he can set up his striking. And then if his striking gets going, he can get the takedowns going as well. And I definitely believe that Cejudo can go strong for 5 rounds. Song's pace is nothing crazy. He got big power, pretty solid striker. But I don't feel like Song is nothing particularly amazing. And Cejudo has consistently shown a strong chin. So Song's power is not like, oh, big, no. Cejudo's soft to the body, no. Cejudo's soft to the chin, no. Cejudo got a big head, barely ever even been rocked. I think the only time he's been stopped is by Mighty Mouse with a real sharp knee to the body. And yeah, Sadong Song is not no Mighty Mouse. And Cejudo, since then, fought Mighty Mouse again, took some of these, got better from it. And again, who's he coming off losses to? He's coming off losses to literally 2 of the greatest fighters of all time, 2 of the greatest bantamweights of all time. Merab Dvalishvili and Cejudo. I mean, right, I said his name. He's coming off a losses to Merab Dvalishvili, current champion. And he's coming off a loss to Aljamain Sterling, former champion. So yeah, I think Cejudo will be able to keep his own with Yadong Song on the feet, use his championship experience, mixing the takedown. Song in the past has definitely shown very questionable grappling. Matter of fact, another thing, Yadong Song should be like a plus 9,000 underdog. He got styled on by Kyler Phillips, who lost to Rob Font. And Rob Font has horrendous wrestling defense, and you're in the same category as him. Matter of fact, he beat Kyler Phillips. You lost him. You got dominated by him. But yeah, am I by any means saying this is a lock or anything? I'm not. This is a close fight. I do see the concerns you have, but by no means, by any type of logic, should Song be as big as a favorite as he is over Cejudo. Really, Cejudo should be the favorite. Right? Maybe a small favorite, but the line is off. I think Henry Cejudo is the better overall fighter. Experience shows it. I think he'll be able to keep his own on the feet with Song. Definitely be able to think he's capable of hurting Song and gaining the respect of Song. I think he's capable of outstriking Song. Not to say that's going to happen. I'm saying I think he could do that if the takedowns aren't there. But I think it will be a mixed martial arts approach. You know, setting up the strikes with his takedowns, set up the takedowns with his strikes, blending the martial arts, close competitive fight, but Cejudo be able to get takedowns throughout the fight, get control time, and grind out Song. And I've seen Song fade in fights. I feel like in the Petr Yan fight, he started strong but faded bad in the fight. And he just started giving up. Then he just started getting taken down by literally anything. At first, he was set up to takedowns against Petr Yan, cracking Petr Yan, looking great. And then as soon as Petr Yan turned it on, like, Song just fell out. He didn't just drop off, but, like, he clearly took the back seat in the fight and was just giving up takedowns very easily. Like, half-effort takedowns for Petr Yan were getting takedowns against Song. And again, Cejudo is the one with championship experience. Cejudo is the one with belts, multiple belts, two different divisions. So yeah, I think Cejudo will have the experience there. He'll be able to push. He'll be able to drag and extend Song, mix it up, blend the martial arts to find success in, the different disciplines, striking and grappling, and grind out a decision over Song over 5 rounds. So in this one, I have Henry Cejudo via decision. And yeah, let me go back now and go through the predictions again. Bukauskas via decision. Abdul Malik via first round TKO. Javid Basharat decision. Nursultan Ruziboev second round TKO. Adam Fugitt decision. Ibo Aslan KO second round. Andre Fili via decision. Julius Walker via decision. John Silva via decision. Rob Font via decision, Anthony Hernandez via decision, and Cejudo via decision. A lot of decisions in there, but yeah, you get the point. Those have been my predictions for the 4-card fights for UFC Fight Night. Cejudo versus Yadong Song, or Cejudo versus Song. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Get this video to 100 likes. And yeah, peace out.